Permits usually give you those sorts of details. You must have this, you must have that. Okay, overhead hazards, eye-level hazards. We've got underground services and cables. Electricians. How many of you electricians?
No.
None. One.
Oh, there, one.
Okay, when you put the cable in the ground, you compact the soil. Bullshit. And then along comes this poor suckers with the scissor lift.
Then bam, bam, bam.
Gets soft the ground, and it's your fault. Now think about it. Recently backfilled soil, particularly trenches, is a problem. Think about also stormwater. Stormwater comes off the gutter, goes down the downpipe, and it goes from the downpipe to the water table out in the road. So it wants to flow downhill. Okay? So they usually don't plant it too deep. It's very shallow.
Yeah.
Okay? So along comes you with a scissor lift, which is a heavy machine, or it's got an outrigger, it point loads. So you go up, you start to lean, you point load, you'll pop through a stormwater pipe. So you need to be careful with those sorts of underground services. The ground could be soft, it could be wet. If they dig a trench in clay and they backfill it, the clay acts like a bowl, it catches water. And the stuff that they backfill it with, if it's not compacted properly, it'll turn to soup. And then you're going to be sitting your machine on top.
Boop. Dangerous.
Look at the ground, we need to check the ground. Trenches, excavations, how close can you get to the trench? With your machine, how close can you get?
The depth of the trench wide.
The depth. However deep it is, you stay that far away. No closer, that's it. Okay, now if it's solid rock, you might get a bit closer, but usually no. Whatever the depth is, it's no problem. In sand, you might have to stay further away again, because sand runs in. When you drop dirt, you'll see dirt will go at an angle. Sand runs at an angle like that. Normal soil runs at 45 degrees, sand might run at something like 30 degrees. Okay, they call that the angle of rest. So if the angle of rest is 30 degrees, well, you need to be right back here. Cool?
What about the edge of concrete slabs?
Is it designed? Can you get some engineering on it? Okay, slab 100 mil, stay 100 mil away. 150 mil, stay 150 mil away. To go right up to the edge of it, that's asking for trouble.
Yeah.
You probably get away with it 99.99% of the time, but one day you make a mistake. You know, the biggest problem is how do you keep people away from the edge so they don't drive over it.
So we've got the edge of our slab right there. We've put pallets and stuff all around the edge to act as water. So it's a chance of machine to get to the edge.
Well, it's a plausible control.
Yeah.
White pallets, not just flags or something.
Because it's still like undeveloped site, so it's still further things in there.
So still want access through it. Interesting question. Let's say, okay, that might be somewhere else. If you were working close to the edge, say you're on the first floor slab. So you pick up scissor lift, they pick it up with a crane, they put it up on the first floor. You go close to the edge, how do you stop the machine driving off? If there's no barrier there, that's a risk that is too significant for you to just ignore. You have to have a proper system to keep people out. That might be a hard rail. Okay? You might have to stay 2 meters away. Some rule will have to be implemented based on a risk assessment to control that. Okay? So we need to adequately control all those sorts of potential hazards. Got that? Okay, underground cables the same. Soft, wound, stable soil, rough, uneven ground. Don't drive over debris. Don't drive over debris, you will point load. You can push, if you drive over a bolt on bitumen, you can push the bolt through your bitumen. These tyres are solid, okay? You don't find air in these other than truck mounted machines. The ones with the outriggers may have air, but even they are usually solids, okay? So if you've got a solid tyre, you drive over something solid, it's going to push that little item. If it's a small item like a bolt, push it straight through the bitumen. Now, I have seen a brick shot through a concrete floor, whoop, through driving with a scissor lift. So a big scissor lift, first floor, drive over with a brick, small fragment, straight through a slab. The slab might be strong enough to support the weight of the machine, but then you need to think about the bearing pressure, size. So if you drive over something, higher bearing pressure. So then you think about that. Ramps, good way to get killed. You want to drive up a slope, there's a maximum angle they drive. Okay, so you need to know what that machine's rated at. But if you want to go up in the air, you've got to be flat. Okay, so you've got to check the ground, is it flat? Maybe 3 degrees, 5 degrees maximum. For a scissor lift usually, 3 degrees to 5 degrees. 3 degrees left to right, 5 degrees forwards and back. Maximum. But check the data plate. On the machine it tells you what the maximum angle is to operate on and to drive on. Okay? You must check it. The data plate tells you all the information you need. Ramps are a good way to get killed. Bridges, crush hazards. You need to really think about the crush hazards. People don't consider it enough. They think about falling, but they don't think about getting crushed. I see people with tools. You don't fucking put tools on the control panel. I see people with screwdrivers and pinch bars and podgies and stuff sitting on the control panel. That's fucking stupid. The control panel needs to be kept clean. Stuff that you put on the floor, you jam a dead man pedal. That's a good way to get killed and crushed. So you need to keep shit off the floor, keep shit off the controls. Bag, a box, a bucket, keep shit off the floor.
Are you allowed to hang tool bags off handrails on a scissor lift?
Technically, no. How much does a tool bag weigh?
Yeah, like how long is a piece of string?
Okay, so if you said to me it's a tool bag with, some welding rods and some bits and pieces, and you could say it's 5 kilos or 10 kilos, let's say that's fine. A handrail is rated at 200 kilos, that's it. So if you're 150 kilo bloke,
50
50
kilos.
kilos I'd say. But that's a rule of thumb, that's not a law. The law says don't do it.
Okay.
Right? Drones, manholes, hatches we've talked about, car parks I've talked about, wharves and docks I've talked about. Okay, so we need to think about pedestrians, doorways, walkways, that is really important. You are going to set up somewhere near a door, or someone could come through the door.